What is up, guys? It's Parsville, and today we're going to be going over the entire Attack on Season 4 from Season 1 to Season 3 so far. Considering that Season 4 is just right around the corner at December 7th, it would be great to go over the seasons and refresh some memories. So, timestamps for each section will be in the description to go to certain sections easier. And I do not reference any scenes from the manga, as this is solely from the anime, so there will be no Season 4 spoilers. And without further ado, enjoy the video. Let's start off with Season 1, and we start off with our main character, Eren Yeager, at the age of 10. We see him with another girl, Mikasa, who is his childhood friend. They live in their hometown named Shiganshina. Now, where is Shiganshina located? It's on the farthest most side of the wall that makes up their country, meaning the complete outside. Now, the walls were made about 100 years ago when the Titans appeared, erasing almost all of humanity except for a select few who took refuge in these walls. Now, this is all that's left in the human race. Eren and Mikasa are on their way home, and just to clarify, Mikasa's parents died when she was at a young age, so she lives with Eren because that's her closest connections. But on the way home, they meet up with Hans, who's a soldier. Eren gets really angry at Hans because he's wasting time with his troops, but Hans explains to Eren that there's no worries as Titans have never breached the wall in 100 years. So just then the Survey Corps come back from a mission. The Survey Corps are those soldiers who venture beyond the walls to find an answer to their lives in the Titans. So Survey Corps as usual return with many casualties and no new intel. Nonetheless, Eren sees the Survey Corps as heroes, while many see them as a waste of tax. When Eren reaches home, Mikasa reveals to Eren's mother that he wants to join the Survey Corps. Eren's mother is very against this, but his father, Grisha, does not argue with Eren, and he said that he'll even show Eren what he's hiding in the basement when he comes back, which Eren seems to be really looking forward to. The scene switches to Eren with Armin and Mikasa. Armin is a childhood friend who shares the same dream as Eren, which is to go outside the wall. Armin also brings up the point on how the wall hasn't been breached in 100 years, and just as you'd expect any anime to do so, the wall gets breached at that point by one of the biggest titans they've ever seen so far, called the Colossal Titan. The Colossal Titan breaks down the door with one kick, exposing them to hundreds and hundreds of titans. Eren tries to rush to his house to save his mom. And what do you know? His mom is stuck under a boulder. Eren and Mikasa try to help her out, but it's no good. Hans appears and takes Eren and Mikasa with him. Eren's mom is killed in front of him by a titan. While the ships are loading up and people try to leave Shiganshina, another powerful titan appears, the Armored Titan, who takes down Wall Maria. Humanity is pushed back to stay behind Wall Rose. Eren takes the oath to destroy all titans that exist, and we really see this throughout the whole anime. Later see a dream of Eren in which his dad injects some sort of liquid in him and giving him a key. This seems to be the same key of the basement, so just keep that in mind. About 2 years later, Eren, Mikasa, and Armin are now in the 104th Cadet Corps, in which they will be taking 3 years of military training, by the end of which they'll be able to choose one of the 3 military branches. Now, we already know about the Survey Corps. The other 2 branches are Garrison and Royal Guard. Garrison take care of the affairs inside the wall, and the Royal Guard serves as protect the king. Throughout the training of the 104th Corps, we learned about the 3D maneuver gear, which helps soldiers move around the Titans quickly. And the nape of the Titan is where its weakest spot is. By the end of the 3-year training, the top 10 soldiers from 10 to 1 are Krista Lenz, Sacha Blouse, Connie Springer, Marco Bott, Jean Kristen, Eren Yeager, Annie Leonhardt, Bertolt Hoover, Rainer Brown, and Mikasa Ackerman. These are the top characters you're probably going to be seeing throughout the most of the anime. So the 104th Squad is then moved to Trost District for a while. Everything seems to be going fine, and then the Colossal Titan appears again. Suddenly he randomly disappears, breaking yet another wall. We learn about how the Colossal Titan is not like the other Titans in the sense that it is actually intelligent. The soldiers then start to defend the wall as their last hope at shelter. This is when things start to go downhill. Eren's friends die to Titans, increasing Eren's anger more and more, until Eren himself is injured by a Titan as his legs get bitten off. Gruesome, I know. More and more of the 104th Cadet starts to die, and Armin can only look in shock. Armin is about to be eaten by a titan until Eren saves him with his last bit of strength. The scene is just a mess. Mikasa later learns about the news and is heartbroken. Mikasa later is at the verge of death until an unusual titan appears defending her. This titan also looks different from the others. He continues to aid the 104th as they try to save as many people as possible. We later find out this titan is none other than Eren himself, who is completely healed with his legs back. The military now believes that Eren is some sort of monster and will kill him if he does not have any defense. Eren then tells him about his dream and how the key will give them access to the basement of the house, which holds the secrets of life. The soldiers still don't believe him, but Armin is able to convince them not to kill them. We also get a new fact that Eren is able to turn into Titan when he inflicts self-injury. Eren is then introduced to Commander Pictus, who will make plans with Eren to take back the Trost district. They plan for Eren as a Titan to pick up the giant boulder and cover the hole made by the colossal Titan. Although many casualties occur, such as Marco's death, which no one really has a clue about how it happened, the mission is still a success. All of the Titans inside the Trost are killed, except for two who are kept for scientific research. After this, Eren wakes up in a prison cell greeted by the commander of the Survey Corps, Erwin Smith, and Levi. Levi is the strongest soldier humanity has. They discuss with Eren, and all Eren has to say is that he wants to join the Survey Corps. We then get introduced to another crucial character named Hanj, who is a squad leader. Eren is taken to the court on what to do with him. Many people believe he should be killed, while the Survey Corps believe that he should survive with them and become a scout. The courts then end with Eren joining the Survey Corps. Eren is then taken to an abandoned castle in which we are introduced to Squad Levi, or Team Levi. Here we learn some info from Hanji on how Titans require sunlight as energy. Also, the two Titans that were used for experiments are then killed, as every soldier is questioned about it. It is now time for the 104 to choose which branch to go to. Most of the main characters choose the Survey Corps except for one, Annie Leonhardt, who has no interest in putting herself in danger and would rather join the Royal Guard. A while later, a mission is taking place in Wall Maria. Things go accordingly till a different type of Titan appears. This Titan seems to be abnormal and is intelligent like Eren's Titan form. This Titan is called the Female Titan. The female Titan does not show interest in any other soldiers and goes for Eren instead, but the female Titan falls under a trap and is captured. She somehow manages to escape, and we figure out that the female Titan is a Titan shifter like Eren, and is a spy between the soldiers. The female Titan then catches up to Eren, who is protected by Squad Levi. Eren insists on turning into a Titan, but Squad Levi tells him not to. Squad Levi then fight against the female Titan. They seem to have an upper hand until the female Titan absolutely overpowers them. The female Titan seems to have a power in which she can harden a certain part of her body with the Sword of Crystal. The female Titan then kills them. Eren then enraged turns into a Titan, signaling the rest of the soldiers, including Mikasa and Captain Levi. The battle seems to be going back and forth, but the female Titan takes lead and tries to escape with Eren. Mikasa and Levi show up. We then see how powerful Levi actually is as he takes down the female Titan. But the female Titan does end up running away, but they do get Eren back. Now that the mission is a failure, Eren is about to be handed over to the military police. The scene shifts to the Royal Guard. We learn about the news of Eren being handed over. The scene suggests Annie getting called out by a familiar voice. It's Armin, who asks Annie for her help to switch Eren with a random person so he can escape. Annie agrees to help. Annie randomly stops as the scene gets tense. Armin then asks Annie if she killed the two Titans and why she has Marco's maneuver gear. Things get a little more tense as Eren finally screams out that she's the female Titan. People out of nowhere try to get a hold of Annie from transforming, but it's too late. Eren then transforms into a Titan, and a fight scene begins. Annie starts off with the upper hand, but Eren unlocks a new power, which is really cool, and Annie tries to escape by scaling the wall, but can't do so. Right before Annie can be finished, she's covered by the same crystal that she used to harden certain parts of her body. It's absolutely indestructible. We then see Erwin talking about a chance of a counterattack, this being their first in history against the Titans. They still know that there are two other Titan shifters among them, the Colossal and Armored, but they're ready to fight. Right before season 1 ends, we get a shot of the wall Annie tried to scale when trying to escape. A part of the wall is broken, and as we see a piece of the wall falls down, we see a Titan inside the wall. This is the end of season 1.
Alright, it's time for season 2. We jump straight into the cliffhanger that we left at. A colossal titan inside the wall. The leader of the Church of the Wall is questioned about the titan inside it, but he does not really speak about it. He stays quiet to himself and won't really bother saying anything. We then see Armin speculating that all the walls must be made of colossal titans and their hardening abilities. The scene changes with a small jump back in time where we come to see most of the 104th at the hideout. They are then disrupted by titans, which seem crazy because that would mean that wall rose is breached. All the 104th are told to inform nearby villages about the titans. As this is happening, Mike, a squad leader, attacks the titans. He's putting a good fight until an abnormal titan appears. This titan, being 18 meters tall and covered all in hair, talks to Mike, but Mike, being too shocked to respond, doesn't say anything. Mike then dies. Now we come to know that there's this weird titan, and they call him the Beast Titan. We then see Connie at his hometown where there are no people in sight, except for one weird titan that can't move and it's on its own. Connie says that it looks sort of like its mother and actually heard it talk, but Reiner makes him snap out of it and come back into formation. After a while, the soldiers scan the wall but bump into each other, learning that there has not actually been a breach. Then they all take shelter at a nearby castle. And right after that, Titans appear, which is surprising because it's actually nighttime. We switch back to Aaron, Mikasa, Armin, Levi, Hanch, and Nick, who is the church leader. Nick says that he's not allowed to say anything without the permission of a certain bloodline, and it so happens to be that Krista, who's currently in the castle getting attacked by the Titans, is actually from that bloodline. Everyone begins to hurry to save them. Many things happen back at the castle, such as Reiner almost dying from a Titan, but Connie saves him, and Bertolt saving Reiner. Bertolt also says something about Reiner being a warrior, but it's kind of shrugged off. All the soldiers die in battle, and all that's left is the 104th, unarmed. Out of nowhere, we learn that Ymir is actually a Titan shifter, to which Reiner and Bertolt are very shocked by, as it's the same Titan that ate their friend. Ymir manages to get rid of all the Titan and save the 104th from the collapsing castle. Right before Ymir gets overpowered, the scouts with Eren and Mikasa come to save them. We go through this crazy bunch of emotional stuff about Krista's true name being Historia and stuff like that. But it finally ends, and sort of like a happy ending. But everyone takes a break at the top of the wall, and everyone realizes that there has not, in fact, actually been a breach. Reiner then takes Eren aside, telling him that he is the armored titan and Bertolt is a colossal titan. Just like that. Bertolt does try to shake off the situation by saying Reiner's tired, but Reiner does not listen. Reiner and Bertolt transform into titans, taking Eren with them, but Eren then transforms into his titan. This is probably like one of the best scenes in the anime for me at least. Eren and Reiner then have a fight. Eren does have the upper hand, but Bertolt comes just like literally just dropping on them and collapsing. So then they get Eren, and now the scouts are planning to take him back. The scene switches back to Eren with Ymir and Reiner and Bertold. And so the conversation switches to talk about the Beast Titan, who was actually responsible for breaking the Titans inside the wall. The scouts then catch up to them, so Reiner takes Eren and Bertold takes Ymir and try to run away. Ymir convinces that she'll take Historia with them because Ymir and Historia have like this BFF thing. Reiner transforms into a Titan trying to protect Bertold, who has Eren with him. The scouts do catch up with Erwin leading them. Erwin almost dies with his hand getting bitten off by a Titan. The 104 does end up getting on top of Reiner. Bertolt and Rage tries to fight them, but then Erwin, one-handed, gets Eren away from them. Mikasa gets a hold of Eren and everyone starts heading back. Then Reiner starts picking up Titans and throwing them like nothing. Eren and Mikasa get knocked down and get faced by the same Titan that killed their mom. Hans begins to attack the Titan to get revenge over not being able to save Eren's mom earlier. The Titan ends up killing Hans, which triggers Eren to learn his new power, in which he can command Titans. The Titan first kills the Smiling Titan, and then Eren orders them to hunt down Reiner. The season about to come to an end, but right before that we learn that the Titans that were attacking were actually from Connie's hometown. This means that all Titans were originally humans. We get a zoomed in shot of the use of the Beast Titan, and that's the end of season 2. Okay, so getting right into season 3, this is probably my favorite season. Actually, it is my favorite season, especially part 2. So jumping right in, the season starts off with the 104th, who are now actually Squad Levi in a cottage. And the reason they're here is to protect Eren and Historia. We then see Levi talking to Erwin about how Eren is having Titan problems and such difficulties. We also learn about the Race family. The Race family is a royal family, and we learn that Historia is the daughter of Rod Race. We also find out that Pastor Nick has been killed by the royal guards. So there's the first bit of information that we get at the beginning. The scouts try to figure out who's trying to get a hold of them, so they decide to split up. We get a glimpse of Kenny the Ripper with the squad, as they're the ones behind taking down Squad Levi. Kenny also states that Levi was one of his students, so judging from how much of a beast Levi is, we can expect Kenny to be just as good or if not better. While Scott Levi goes to the city, Gina and Armin are taken as Armin is disguised as Historia and Gina is disguised as Aaron. Mikasa then takes down those goons pretty easily, giving Levi an overlook of the city. And now, bro, this is one of the most insane fight scenes in probably the entire anime. We get to see one of the best animation scenes. We get Kenny, who's now working with the Royal Guard, coming out of nowhere, transitioning into an insane battlefield.
おめえもあんまり変わってねえなケニー
But Squad Kenny ends up getting the real Eren and Historia. The scene shifts back to Demo Reeves getting interrogated by Levi, who has connections to the military. Demo agrees to help with their mission as he gives them intel on some royal guards that could help them. After capturing the royal guard, the scouts figure out that Fritz, who are in the throne, are not actually the royal family but rather Historia. Now the scouts know that Rod Race has Eren and Historia. We get some pretty important intel now from Hanj. Titan powers can be inherited from other Titans if a Titan eats the Titan shifter. For example, Ymir has done so with Reiner and Berthold's friend. They conclude that the Race family is planning to make someone eat Eren. Rod Race now with Historia as we see him apologizing for leaving her alone at a young age. Erwin discussing with Commander Pictius is planning to make Historia the new queen. Erwin also tells Pictius that 100 years ago, the king most probably erased the memories of everyone inside the wall so he could control them. Just then, Erwin gets news that he's going to be killed. Erwin is now in front of the council to say any last words. It's at this moment that Erwin and the garrison unit trick the council into thinking that Wall Rose has been breached. The council says that they should come before the citizens and it doesn't matter if the citizens die. Now that the garrison unit also knows about the king's trust, the council and the king get overthrown. We go back to Eren as he wakes up in a cave tied up. He then sees Historia as she seems completely calm in the situation. Historia and Rod then touch Eren, and right that instant, we see Eren's mind flooding with memories. These memories were of his father, Grisha, and how he came from outside the wall. He was a Titan shifter, and he had killed the founding Titan. We also see that Grisha made Eren into a Titan, making Eren eat him. So now Eren has the power of Grisha and the founding Titan. We then see Levi fighting Team Kenny, which is a pretty cool fight scene in my opinion. Kenny then gets frustrated with his job and tells Historia that Rod is manipulating her. Historia, then realizing what trap she's fallen into, doesn't accept the serum. Rod then takes the serum instead, turning into one of the biggest Titans so far. Eren at that moment meets up with the scouts as the cave is about to shatter. He unlocks a new power, which is the hardening power, which we have seen similar with Annie's Titan, the female Titan. As Rod Reese's Titan begins to come close to the wall, soldiers begin to fire at it. The soldiers then get an idea to use gunpowder and kill Rod with that. They successfully do so as Historia deals the last slice to the nape, asserting dominance and telling people that they are in good hands. The scene switches to Kenny as we figure out that Kenny is Levi's uncle and Levi is actually an Ackerman. That makes 3 Ackermans: Kenny Ackerman, Levi Ackerman, and Mikasa Ackerman. Historia is later crowned queen. Back to the scouts. Erwin is discussing about getting back Shiganshina, which is Eren's hometown. We also get confirmation that Grisha did in fact come outside of the walls. All the scouts, and especially Eren, are most intrigued to find out what the secrets of the basement hold. The scouts then on their mission to take back Shiganshina. For the first time in history, they get a good luck send off from the citizens. We then see Berthold, Reiner, and the Beast Titan waiting for them there. Then we learn the truth about Marco and that Reiner actually killed Marco. The scouts reach Shiganshina, suspicious because there's actually no Titan in sight. They continue the plan as Eren closes one of the walls with his hardening ability. Everyone continues to search for enemies and Titans, and no one actually lets their guard down. Armin proposes the idea to search the walls, and they find Reiner hidden inside the wall. Reiner jumps out, transforming into the Colossal Titan. Out of nowhere, the Beast Titan comes up with a huge army of Titans, just in a line next to him. The Beast Titan begins to throw gigantic boulders and sends Titans to kill the scouts' horses so they can't run away. Meanwhile, in Shiganshina, Eren lures in the armored Titan. The scouts introduce their new weapon, the Thunder Spear, which they'll use to take down Reiner. Reiner actually can't die though because he has this ability to pass consciousness to random parts of his body. Reiner lets out a scream indicating Zeke, which is the Beast Titan, to throw a barrel. Inside the barrel, Berthold comes out. Berthold turns into the Colossal Titan. The entirety of Shiganshina is completely destroyed. On the other side of the wall, the Beast Titan continues throwing boulders at the soldiers, killing them. Everyone begins to lose hope, but Erwin delivers a final speech motivating the scouts to attack one last time.
無意味だったのか。いや違う。あの兵士たちに意味を与えるのは我々だ。あの勇敢な死者を、哀れな死者を思うことができるのは聖者である我々だ。我々はここで死に 次の聖者に意味を託す。
As they proceed, the plan is to let Levi kill the Titans, lining up with the Beast Titans as the scouts distract him. Levi should eventually reach the Beast Titan and kill him. As the scouts approach the Beast Titan, most of them die, including Erwin, who gets hit by a boulder. Levi catches up with the Beast Titan, absolutely obliterating him. Levi hesitates for a second, as he can use the serum to save someone on the verge of death. The Cart Titan then comes, saving Zeke. Out of all the scouts that rush the Beast Titan, only one survives, Flock. Returning inside the wall, the 104 try to attack the Colossal Titan, but fail due to his heat burst. Armin then comes up with a plan to take down the Colossal Titan. He notices that every time the Colossal Titan uses his heat wave or heat burst, he gets skinnier and loses energy. So there's a limit to how many times he can actually use it. He then goes to Eren to explain his plan. Reiner is now back up again and the scouts go fight him. Eren at that moment gets dizzy, slips and falls from the top of the wall to the ground. Armin has no choice but to continue with the plan. Armin hooks onto the Colossal Titan as he continues to use his heat burst. Armin dies in the process. But Eren actually tricks the Colossal Titan as the body on the ground was actually from his hardening ability. Eren comes from behind the Colossal Titan and takes Bertholdt out of his nape. Onto the Armored Titan, the scouts are low on Thunder Spears, but Hange, who was presumed to be dead from the blast of the Colossal Titan, comes and uses her Thunder Spear to assist Mikasa into taking Reiner out of his nape. Eren, now with Bertholdt, is completely devastated from the death of Armin. Zeke then arrives, telling Eren that he knows his father. He also says something about them both being victims of Grisha, Eren's father. Levi comes, making Zeke run away, only to tell Eren that he'll come back to rescue him. Zeke manages to take Reiner with him though. Armin then begins to breathe, and Flock arrives with Erwin, who's also still breathing. Levi is presented with a decision on who to make a Titan. Levi ends up making Armin a Titan, who eats Bertholdt. Erwin then dies. Eren, Mikasa, Levi, and Hange proceed to go to the basement. It seems fairly normal till they find a hidden compartment for which a key is required, which is the same key that Eren has. They find 3 books inside. Once they start going to the books, they realize that humanity, in fact, is not captive inside the walls. The walls are actually on an island named Paradis, a few miles off the shore from Marley. Marley is where Grisha, Eren's father, is truly from. The story now shifts to the life of Grisha as a child. Marley is far more advanced with cars, cameras, planes, and much more. We see Grisha with his sister. They are both categorized as Eldians. Eldians are separate from the people as they live in internment camps with his mother, father, and sister. Grisha sneaks out to see a blimp fly, but there are 2 guards, Kruger and Gross, question them on whether they have permission slips to actually come there. They don't have any. Gross takes Grisha's sister home as Kruger tells Grisha that he'll be sent to Paradis if he caught sneaking out again. When Grisha comes back home, he finds out that his sister died. The police tell his parents a made-up story as Grisha knows that they are lying. This is when we learn the history of the Eldians. About 200 years ago, Ymir Fritz, their ancestor, made a deal with the devil, gaining the Titan powers. After she died, her powers were split between 9 Titans. These 9 Titans created Eldia and created a war against Marley. Marley then got control of 7 out of the 9 Titans. The Eldian king went to Paradis to then create the walls. The king said that if anyone were to interfere, the king said that if anyone were to interfere, he would release the millions of Titans inside the wall. The Eldians that were left behind on Marley are now in the internment camps in Marley. We learn that only Eldians can become Titan shifters, so if someone is willing to fight as a warrior for Marley, their family will have freedom. Now we see Grisha as a grown-up man. He joined a group called Eldian Restorations, who plan to bring back Eldia as they believe Ymir was actually a saint. We found out that Marley rank has a spy in them too. Grisha is then introduced to Dina Fritz, who is a descendant of the royal family. Grisha and Dina married, having a boy named Zeke. Yes, the same Zeke as the Beast Titan. The plan is to make Zeke a warrior whose job is to recover the founding Titan. Zeke then turns on his parents to save his grandparents. The entire Eldian Restoration group are now going to turn into Titans as a punishment. When the group is turning into Titans, some Titans are actually familiar. One of those that stick out is Dina's Titan. This is the same Titan that killed Eren's mom and Hans. Grisha is the last to be turned into a Titan. As Gross approaches him, Kruger then pushes Gross into Titan, revealing himself to be the spy and the Titan shifter. Kruger proceeds to tell Grisha that a Titan shifter can only live for 13 years after he gets his power. His time is almost up. He tells Grisha to now go inside the wall and recover the coordinate, or the founding Titan. Kruger explains that the Titan he is giving Grisha is called the Attack Titan, and that he should make a family inside the wall. He also says that he needs to succeed for Mikasa and Armin. This is all the book has. We go back to the world of Paradis. We find out that Ymir is dead, while Historia reads a letter written by her. Now the scouts are in front of a council, and Queen Historia, they discuss what their future mission will be. It's at this moment that Eren realizes that his coordinate powers are activated through touching someone of royal blood. He decides not to tell anyone as they might have an idea to make Eren eat Historia. Later on, when the scouts are being awarded for the Shiganshina mission, Eren comes in contact with Historia, flashing before him some memories about Grisha and the royal bloodline. But ever since those memories, Eren changes as we see scouts 1 year later. Eren's behavior is definitely different. Everyone is on their way to see the ocean. This had been a dream of Eren, Mikasa, and Armin since they were kids. When everyone reaches there, they're all surprised, even Levi. But something to note is that Eren still seems normal. Eren then says that he always believed that on the other side of the sea would be freedom, but there are just more enemies. The season concludes with Eren asking if they kill everyone on the other side, will they be free? Damn, that last season was a heck of a ride. Now for the final review. Right off the bat, this is a very well balanced show in the sense that the animation is on point, the storyline is well crafted, the soundtrack is amazing, and there are no drops in quality. Starting off with the animation, it's top notch from episode 1 and never drops. I've seen other anime where they can like drop once in a while for small things, but Attack on Titan gives it all in every single scene. Plus, maneuver gear scenes are so incredible to watch. It's done incredibly smoothly. Next, with the storyline. The storyline in Attack on Titan is mad. It starts off simple but branches into something completely unexpected. Every episode perfectly complements the storyline. There is no break episode, so watching out for the first episode is incredibly crucial. The soundtrack, boys, the soundtrack is amazing. The OST completely stands out from like other animes. It's obviously it's not like the topmost. I would definitely give Naruto like the top OST, but it is amazing. And when I say no drops in quality, I mean there's no episode where you feel like it's a gutter episode. Every single episode complements the storyline in a perfect manner. Here are some ratings I would give in categories. Action is definitely a 5 out of 5. Adventure also a 5 out of 5. Drama would be a 3.5 out of 5. Comedy would be a 2.5 out of 5 because every comedic scene is ruined by some like completely devastating scene, not scene, event. And romance would be a 1 out of 5. That's just category. Overall, this show is definitely something to watch for anime and non-anime watchers alike. With my following opinion, let's give it a rank. Now the ranks from highest to lowest are stated: S, A, B, and C. Attack on Titan is one of my favorite animes. With its captivating plot and out-of-the-world animation, I would without a doubt give this a S rank. Yo, thanks if you stuck around until the end. This video did really take a long time to make, so I hope it was helpful and you enjoyed it. You can always support the channel by subscribing and dropping a like. Comment down what you're looking forward to most in Season 4 and what other videos should I do. And until next time, peace.
Subscribe.